Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shabi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. So let's jump right in. I'm going to start off with a declare and decree deck. Whatever comes out, you want to write it down on paper and burn it. You can also get this deck from me off of my website if you find that it could be of use to you and your spiritual toolkit. So let's see. If any of you have been seeing the numbers 111 or 1111 a lot lately, leave it in the comments section. When I tell you that's been showing up for me like crazy, it's really been showing up, okay? So I have here, this just came out. All curses of Deuteronomy over myself and my lineage are now destroyed in spirit and in flesh. This must be very important for you all because this just came out in, I believe, yesterday's reading. All curses of Deuteronomy over myself and my lineage are now destroyed in spirit and in flesh. Now, of course, yeah, this is the lighter print. This came out yesterday. This is the deck that you will get. You know, it's lighter now. But if you want to screenshot that, you can screenshot it and write it down. Literally, it was still sitting on the table. So it could definitely indicate that you all want to do that particular declaration to clear those curses. Let's get a message from the ancestors before we jump into the reading today. Rest peacefully. We are always on the lookout to ensure your safety. So they want you to rest. If some of you feel like you have to constantly be on guard and it's just, you know, rest is not time to rest, right? Whenever you're in war, in battle, rest is the last thing that's on your mind because you're in survival mode. Your spiritual team is saying rest. Take a break. If you feel like you've been working hard on something and your body is like, look, I just want to chill out. Your spiritual team, they have your front, back, side, and center. They're telling you to rest. I'm going to take one more. So this says, we need you to do the inner work before you can see the change in that situation. We need you to do the inner work before you can see change in that situation. So this could be why they want you to rest. That way you can see certain things. Because if you're just constantly moving in the hustle and bustles of life, you won't be able to see those things that still need to be healed or the inner work that still needs to be addressed in order for something to change in your favor. So they're telling you to align yourself with that energy of rest and inner work. So I have a different deck, y'all. I just ordered this deck. I'm just going to try it out and see what messages come through. So this says mimic chest, okay? So this says what seems valuable may hide danger and damages in your daily life. Serve as a reminder to guard against mimic chest. Beware of too good to be true offers and guard your heart against illusions of wealth. Okay? So if something is not in alignment with your integrity, don't take the bait for the sake of security. But I'll pull some more cards to see where is this going here. So I have two cards, deadline and then digital whisper. So deadline, focus on what can be done now and not what has been delayed. Break the cycle of procrastination with small steps. Okay, it's something about being trapped in procrastination, in a procrastination cycle with no end in sight. Okay. So the deadline is like, okay, rushing to get to the finish line of something. Like, okay, it's right there. But fearful that you may not make it there. Now, this could be your energy or this could be somebody else's energy, but we'll dive in. The other card that came through says Digital Whisper. Connections feel real but lack depth and craving physical touch while trapped in screens. Embracing each other digitally, but the longing for touch remains. It's an erratic, tumultuous connection that is damaging and poisonous. So connecting with someone digitally, but not being able to reach out and touch them. I need some more cards, y'all. Let me see. I want to clarify the Digital Whisper, and I'm going to clarify the deadline. Digital Whisper says petty gains, being penny wise, pound foolish, and undermining overall success. Chasing pennies and neglecting larger financial goals, chasing tiny profits, and sacrificing long-term growth. That's clarifying Digital Whisper. And then I have deadline. I'm going to clarify that one. So I have third-party situation. Another person disrupts your relationship and causes turmoil. Trust may be broken by infidelity and struggling to rebuild it. So I'm picking up you're very close to something here, but there could be third-party interference. You might not have been able to reach out and touch the situation yet, right? It's like right there within your reach, but you've yet to fully connect with this thing or person, whatever the case may be. And I feel like you want to be very careful to not become overly consumed when it comes to material things, because that could be the illusion that's the perfect distraction away from something that could literally take you to the next level long term. But being overly consumed with the illusions of the temporary could be the perfect distraction from getting to the finish line here and getting to the next level. Somebody outside of yourself and maybe someone else is hoping that you don't. They want to disrupt this. They want to cause some form of turmoil or obstruction here. They seem to be highly emotional. Look at that. Oath. Unity and diversity, embracing differences to create a harmonious and balanced partnership, divinely guided towards union. So it could very well be something that's very stable that's getting ready to come into your life here. And there could be, look at that, situations that's trying to distract you where you're overly focused on money. And this is only short term right here, so that you'll miss out on opportunities. This is the Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords. I'm using my IC Tarot deck. Of course, if you want to get this deck, you can get off my website. But it's like I'm cutting the deck here before I even get a chance to shuffle. There's this energy of wanting to distract you where you become so focused on the small wins financially that you don't see the long-term success that could come from either building with someone or moving towards something else that is more in alignment with you. And this is influenced by third parties that are very disappointed that something is divinely guided. Like literally it's fated here. It's right on target. It's meant for you to have this. Look at that. I told you, here is the cockroaches coming through the crevices, okay? Bitter Bettys and bitter Joes. That's watching very, very closely. It's a lot coming out concerning digital energy, online energy, okay? So if there's something that you're doing online and people see that you're very close to seeing results, whether it's you connecting with someone else or you actually working on something that is publicly displayed online. Someone is watching very, very closely, and they're disappointed that you're almost there. You're almost there, okay? But they're hoping that you'll tap out before you even get to the finish line, okay? They are hoping that you will tap out before you even get to the finish line. Somebody has been trying to wear you down spiritually. I want to look into this Page of Swords energy, okay? Let's see what this person is up to. Page of Swords. What is this Page of Swords up to? Because in the reverse, it came out in the reverse, so that can indicate gossip, lies, falsehood, okay? Mischievous. Look at that. The Magician came out in the reverse. Look at what's peeking through. The Hermit and the High Priestess. This person is doing spell work, okay? They could be doing Google magic, textbook magic, okay? This person has no real clarity on how to use alchemy, but I strongly sense that they're trying to wear you down to the point where you don't even have the energy to get to that next level, or to make something that is more digital, tangible, and a part of your reality. Somebody is very, very concerned. Look at that, 9 of Pentacles in a reverse, because see what they're doing, the magic that they're doing is towards your wealth. They want you to feel like you don't have enough. They want you to feel like you're not secure enough, okay? That you have to be in some state of codependency or survival mode. And as long as you're focused in that direction, like this says, being penny wise, pound foolish, undermining overall success, chasing pennies and neglecting larger financial goals, chasing tiny profits and sacrificing long-term growth. So if you're chasing the small things that's only going to offer short-term success and not seeing the value or ignoring the value of those long-term situations that could really provide security for years to come, that is what this individual wants you to do. And they're using their spell work to create illusions for you surrounding your security. What are they hoping that you will miss out on by doing this? Look at that, the Tower. They don't want the Tower to come down on their connection. But they also don't want you to, they don't want to see you build something new, something that's more stable. They want you to stay stuck, holding on to things that are not even balanced anymore, holding on to things that was never built from a solid foundation to begin with. They want you to stay stuck in that energy. They're trying to delay the inevitable. Look at that. The Death card is here, though. Scorpio energy is coming out very strongly. This person does not want things to come to a close when it comes to your life. This is going to transform your entire life with this Death card. Your whole life is going to be changed here. Let me clarify the Death card and the Tower. Like I said, both of them are Scorpio energy. Could be something that's going to happen for you in Scorpio season. And someone is trying to delay this transformation in your life. Death card is clarified by Justice. No, why did I just say Justice? That says just us right there. But apparently justice is significant because that's where the scales balance. Putting something to rest and allowing a cycle to close out actually brings balance and realignment into your life. And the karmic scales balance out in your favor. Something works out for you. A judgment call is made on these beings that tried to stop you from getting there. Instead of you being the skeleton crawling to the finish line, you actually trample over the skeletons of your enemies. Okay? So the way that they was hoping that it would look versus how it's really going to turn out is two completely different things. But the prerequisite to this happening is to allow this tower to come down. And you may have to hurt somebody. Somebody is going to have their feelings hurt. Okay? But this is justice, though. Because this is actually what they deserve. Now, the card that came out, what was I? Oh, yes, this is the one that says just us. I was clarifying the Death card. So this says across distances. So this says the miles may seem vast, but the connection transcends space, and trust that what's meant for you will find its way. Certain events are impossible to avoid and they drastically shape your future. Embrace the uncertainty, knowing that serendipity works in your favor. That's why I picked up on justice, even though this says just us. It's justice for you and someone else to come into alignment here, or for you to come into alignment with your purpose, even if it seems like it's at a distance, or if that person is at a distance. This says that the miles may seem vast, but the connection transcends space and time. So what seems to be distance between you and something else, or you and someone else, is only the illusion, because the connection transcends that. Just us, justice. It's justice for the two of you to come together, or for you to come into alignment with this brand new beginning here. Wow. The bottom of the deck, it says twin flame. I didn't even see that. Okay, I was getting ready to pull from my IC Tarot deck. This says souls maturing separately to bring deeper wisdom upon reunion. Growing in parallel dimensions, destined to intersect again. Evolving separately and becoming whole individually. Wow. But what's really standing out is growing in parallel dimensions. Like, regardless, you may have had enemies on your end. They had enemies on their end, but there's growth that was happening regardless of the space and time between you. You were still going through great transformations out there, chosen, to align yourself with who or whatever is divinely fated to come into your life here. Nothing is going to stop this. So even though with the digital whisper, it's like this energy of longing, like, okay, I want to be able to reach out and touch that vision. I want to be able to reach out and, finally see the tangible evidence of what I've been working on, or finally be able to reach out and touch that person, to hug them, to kiss them, to embrace them. That space and time that seemed to keep the two of you apart was only the space and time needed for the transformation to happen. So that by the time you reach this finish line, you're trampling over your enemies. They're not trampling over you. Okay? So let's see what else is coming through, y'all. Somebody wanted you overloaded, like feeling stressed out, like completely depleted, so that you would not be able to make it. Feeling like there was so many different obstacles in front of you that they were hoping that you would give up right there at the very last moment, because they know that you're so close. There's really something about this card that makes me keep being drawn back to it. You're so close. They see it. They see how close you are to either coming into union with your person or coming into union with your purpose, or even both. They see it. And they have been trying to wear you out with their spell work. Look at that. The Fool is in a reverse, to keep you from taking the leap of faith, because they know that the next step, once you take that leap of faith, you are jumping into your brand new beginning. And it's going to require confidence. It's going to require power. It's going to require strength. And all of those things they would hope that you would feel completely depleted of, so that you wouldn't even have the, let's just say, because this person is right here, right? Let's just say this person can crawl a little bit further to touch that finish line. They're hoping, okay, fine, they made it to the finish line, but do they have the energy, the power, the strength to actually take the leap of faith and to actually do it? That's what they're hoping to prevent by wearing you out and making you feel drained. Look at that. The Magician is here again. They don't recognize, though, that your magic is far more powerful than theirs. Your alchemy is far more powerful, because the intentions that you set for your life always, always, always outweighs the intentions that someone else has for you. So their stuff is coming out in the reverse, which means it's going right back to them. This is the boomerang effect, which is why you will trample over them as you cross that finish line. This will be them laid out, not you. Your spiritual team is providing you with everything that you need to push through. Okay, so even if your spiritual team is like, all right, I know they're tired, they've been fighting the spiritual warfare, and of course your angels and ancestors, they ain't slept on it at all. They've been working in your favor. But remember, we have the card that says rest peacefully, We are always on the lookout to ensure your safety. You might be exhausted because you've been going through so much in hopes to align yourself with that person or that vision. And they're like, look, you can rest. We know that it's been a battle. We see the evil eyes that's been sent towards you in hopes that you wouldn't make it. So we know that it's been that much more difficult for you to stay focused, to stay aligned. They know that you had a few different twists and turns on your pathway, and that has taken a toll. So they want you to rest and know that it's cool. Rest. Focus on doing the inner work, because there's a change that's getting ready to happen in your situation. So they even supplied you with the horse. If you're tired and you don't feel like you have what it takes to walk yourself over that finish line, they're supplying you with what you need to make it there and then some. They're carrying you. Look at that. They want you to focus on loving on yourself, purifying your energy, cleansing your energy. Some of you may feel guided to take your spiritual cleanse, cleanse yourself of negative energy. Very important. That's why I'm always suggesting that you all purchase my spiritual body wash. Okay. Very powerful to have, just to keep it right there inside your shower. You get ready to take a shower, wash your hair, wash from head to toe. Cleanse that negative energy and keep it moving. Because see, these beings have been putting forth so much effort to tire you out so that you feel like you just have all of these different responsibilities, juggling this, juggling that, so that you get to the point where you don't even have time to do your spiritual work. You're so tired, you're so drained that they want you to neglect your spiritual work. That way they feel like your guard is down enough for them to block this next level that's getting ready to happen for you. Look at that, Page of Wands in the reverse. They definitely want to stop you from feeling inspired. They want to stop you from moving towards your wish fulfillment. That's the Nine of Cups reverse. They want you unhappy, just drained, dissatisfied. Look at that, Five of Cups. I'm telling you, they want you all in your emotions, focusing in on those things that still have yet to come into fruition, or those things that didn't work out that you was hoping would work out. Like they really want you overly consumed in your emotions here. King of Pentacles in a reverse, especially in the area of your wealth. But it's an illusion. Don't fall for it, because the long-term success is directly connected to someone or something else that's at a distance. So if you're overly focused on the short term, look at that. The Lovers is at the bottom of the deck. Right behind it is the Nine of Pentacles. I'm telling you, long-term success is directly connected to someone who could be at a distance, or a Nine of Pentacles right behind itself all over again. Of course, you're only going to get this card once in your deck, but I mix my decks because I love my decks. I'm telling you, you are going to move towards long-term success. Your harvest will be plentiful. Your spiritual team especially wants you to focus on your root chakra to clear out all scarcity mindset, lack mentality, fear of not having enough, fear of making room for the new, fear of moving towards new opportunities, new people, new situations, new places. There's getting ready to be an overflow. I told y'all, I got these Seven of Cups here. I told y'all I felt that justice energy coming through with that card that said just us. The scales balance out. Call judgment on your enemies, y'all. Make sure you call judgment weekly, because they're always behind the scenes trying to create illusions and confusion for you. They want you all over the place feeling like, oh, should I go that way? Should I go that way? Is that the right person? Is that the right? Like they want you so confused to the point where you get worn out. You get dizzy trying to figure out which way to go in. But your intuition, you already know. Your heart already knows which way to go. Look at that, Six of Swords. You know which way to go. You know which way to steer that boat. But people are trying to create waves. Okay, they're trying to create high currents, so that you are just out there fighting up against the waves, fighting up against the storm, so much so that you damn near forget which direction you were supposed to be going in when you set sail. Mimic chess is here yet again. These two cards actually came out in my love reading. I have it uploading now. Go check out my love channel, Shavi Zane, the spiritual counselor. These two cards came out in that reading. They want you to think that this new beginning is too good to be true. Look at that. Peeping and condemnation. These people, all they do is watch you. I told you, that's all they do. With that Page of Swords, same energy. That's all they do is watch you. Very obsessively watching you. Disappointed, disgruntled. Why are they so... It's like they're obsessed with watching you, but angry at the same time. It's like it's something definitely not right. Something ain't right. Okay, the elevator don't go all the way up. You know this. But they're constantly peeping. Let's see, what does this say? And like I said, I feel like it's more than one person. It's like there's one person that's highly obsessed, but they pull in other people. Girl, come and see this. Or you got to come and see this about so-and-so, right? So this says maintains a facade and guard your privacy with care. Keeping secrets might protect you for a while, but they won't last. So this is about guarding your privacy. Somebody is definitely trying to tap in to see what is it that you're not saying. What is it that you're not saying? They're like really combing through, like with a fine-tooth comb. What did they miss? What details can they detect? What can they see that will give them some sort of clarity about what's getting ready to happen for you? Because you're not saying much. Okay? So with the condemnation, it's a lot of people pointing fingers, but they're pointing fingers at each other. Let's see. Public scrutiny causes you to question your worth and motives. Facing public opinion challenges your resilience and resolve. It could very well be that it's going to backfire. They're going to end up pointing fingers at each other. Okay. But they're also hoping that the world will see you in a way where they condemn you. They'll speak ill against you. Like they want you overly consumed with what other people think. But as a chosen seed, I know you've done enough work to not give a damn. Look at that. I told you gossip is at the bottom of the deck. They're saying a whole lot. Okay. Multiple people watching you, spying on you, gossiping about you. Okay. Unfounded allegations. Whispers of gossip cause confusion and spread misinformation. That's all they're doing is lying. That's why I said that Page of Swords in the reverse. This is nothing short of a liar. Very immature, obsessively watching. And that's all they can think about. You're on their mind and you're on their tongue. Okay. On their mind and on their tongue. This person they eat, sleep, and drink your energy. And that's why they're so disgruntled, because they're constantly sending spell work, but it's not working. Let me see something. What are they gossiping about? What are these false allegations behind the scenes? Guidance from above. They're trying to say that you don't receive real guidance from the Most High or from your spiritual team. So if you are a spiritual teacher in some way, they're behind the scenes saying negative things about you and how you channel messages and your wisdom and things like that. Clarity arrives when you allow yourself to be perceptive or to be receptive, willingness to be open to the connection, to bring graceful understanding and enhance your presence. Yeah, they're trying to say that you're being deceptive when it comes to your spiritual wisdom. Let's see, what else are they gossiping about? These little minions, these workhorses. Look at that. This says why. So this is speaking on a third-party situation. So they could be trying to create some sort of narrative that either you have a third-party situation or that this person that you may have as a twin flame has a third-party situation. Another person disrupts your relationship and causes turmoil. Trust is broken by infidelity and struggling to rebuild it. They're saying all types of stuff behind the scenes. These fools ain't got nothing better to do. So then I have here, no exit. Trapped in a situation with no exit or escape. Trapped in an infinite loop with no escape. Engaged in a siphon task that never ends. See, they want you stuck. Just going around in this merry-go-round but never getting anywhere. That's that energy of trying to wear you out. You feel like you're making progress, but they constantly try to send stumbling blocks so that you never quite get there. But this is not working. It's not working. So let me see. What do you need to know about where things are headed. Gift. You're still going to receive your gift, y'all. The Most High is still going to gift you. This says, embrace your uniqueness and offer it as a special gift to the world. Cherish yourself. Recognize your inner beauty. Embrace your worth. Somebody could also be giving you gifts. They could also see you as a gift, but you are a gift to the world. So, of course, these beings are jealous. Of course, they're gossiping. Of course, they're watching. Of course, they want to see you fail. Bottom of the deck says independence. That's the same energy as the Nine of Pentacles, which already came out twice. You receive your harvest, whether they like it or not. Realizing the need for change and striving for karmic justice. There's that word again. The path of solitude reveals truths unseen in the company of others. So you've been spending a lot of time in hermit mode, just really dissecting and evaluating yourself, your relationships, how you've been navigating in life. And also you're being called to take this time to just rest. But you are a gift. So this is where things are headed. You're going to receive gifts. You are a gift to the world. You're going to be bringing forth your gifts to the world. Someone else may be giving you gifts. Like it's a whole lot of beautiful energy that's coming through as far as what you can anticipate in the future. So I'm going to take one of these cards. Let me see. I'll take it from a different deck because I want to pull from my my book full of channeled messages, Guided Light. Of course, you can get this off my website. So it's full of channeled messages. It's not meant to be read from front to back. It's meant for you to open and turn to whatever page you feel guided to turn to. In the back of the book, there's 56 random messages. So if there's a specific number that stands out for you, of course, you can always turn to that number message and get the clarity you need. So I'm just going to pull a card and let the card tell me what number to turn to, what number message to turn to. So let's see. So I have the number 5. Dear John. Somebody is getting ready to be written off. Their time is up. The Dear John says rejection, cold, hard truth, setting boundaries, breaking up. Okay, the end. Final words, cutting cords. It ain't working no more. So somebody's getting ready to be heartbroken. And that could be that one of those, you know, these people that's constantly gossiping, bitter, just very disheveled and disappointed that you're getting ready to come into union or connecting or, you know, aligning yourself with something. This could even be a what do you call it? A notice of resignation. It could be that type of breakup. It doesn't have to be romantic for everyone, of course. But let me see the number 5 message. So this says, you are now fully operating from a higher state of consciousness. Your awareness of life has provided you with clarity about the people you once allowed to influence you. Like a bird that finally breaks free from its cage, you are moving forward with everyone watching, aware that their attempts to manipulate you have failed. They are frustrated and disordered in their energy because they can no longer use you as a means of control or drag you down with them. You have shifted your focus away from them, and all they can do is observe you as you rise and pursue your true path. Keep soaring as you deepen your understanding of your newfound freedom. They will not stop you. That's my message for you all. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to y'all next time.